All right, let's talk about one of the most challenging questions on the AQA GCSE Biology paper. You know the one. In this explainer, we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to build the perfect 6-mark answer, and we'll be using the official mark scheme as our blueprint. So let's get right into it. That big extended response question. It can really feel like it's the thing that makes or breaks your grade, can't it? It's worth so many marks, and getting it right is absolutely key. So the real question is, how do we actually lock in all 6 of those points? Okay, so to win this game, you've got to know the rules. And the big rule here is something called level of response. Now, this isn't a simple scavenger hunt for 6 random facts. Nope. Examiners are looking for a proper, well-argued explanation where your ideas flow logically from one to the next. It's all about the quality of your argument, not just ticking a checklist. So here's our game plan. First, we'll crack the 6-marker. Then we'll look at pillar number 1, which is all about fossil evidence. After that, pillar 2, the genetic key. And finally, the most important part, linking it all together to hit that level 3. Let's do it. Right. Part 1, cracking the 6-marker. So what is the blueprint for a perfect answer? Well, I want you to think of your answer like a bridge. For it to be strong, for it to stand up, it needs 2 solid pillars of evidence. And that's exactly what a top-tier response has. So what are these 2 pillars? Well, on one side, you have fossil evidence. This is basically the historical record, right? It's the diary of life on Earth, showing us that things have changed. But then you have the other pillar, genetic evidence. This is the how. It's the engine room, explaining the actual mechanics of why and how that change happens. You absolutely have to talk about both.
Okay, pillar number 1, fossil evidence. Let's dive in and look at the exact words and ideas the mark scheme says you should be talking about here.
And here it is. This is literally a list of what the examiners are told to look for, taken straight from the mark scheme. So you could talk about how fossils show life from the past, how they show change over time, or even evidence of extinction. And look, you can even get marks for mentioning that there are gaps in the fossil record. You don't need to use every single one of these, but picking a few and explaining them well, that's pure gold. All right, on to our second pillar, the genetic key. So if fossils show us that life changed, genetics is all about the how it changed. This is the real engine of evolution, and nailing these details is absolutely essential for getting into those top mark bands. You know, what's really cool is how this understanding was built over time. It wasn't just one big eureka moment. It actually started way back in the 1860s with Gregor Mendel and his pea plants, talking about units of inheritance. Then scientists started actually seeing chromosomes during cell division, and it all finally came together in the 1950s when we cracked the structure of DNA itself. And just like with fossils, here's the checklist for the genetics part. The mark scheme is looking for things like Mendel's work on inheritance, the idea of dominant and recessive genes, and, of course, the big ones, variation caused by mutation and natural selection. You know, how individuals with the best characteristics are more likely to survive and pass on those helpful genes. It's all about connecting these dots. Okay, this is it, the final crucial step. We've built our 2 strong pillars of evidence. Now it's time to build the bridge that connects them. This is what separates a pretty good answer from a fantastic, level 3, full marks answer. This is where we bring it all together. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at this. This is a direct quote from an actual AQA mark scheme. It could not be any clearer. For level 3, the response must include details about fossils and about the mechanisms of genetics. See that? It's not optional. It's not one or the other. You have to do both. So let's just break it down into a simple checklist. Step 1, you detail the fossil evidence. That's your what. Step 2, you explain the genetic mechanisms. That's your how. And step 3, the vital part, you have to explicitly link them. It can be as simple as saying something like, fossils show us that species have changed, and genetics explains how this change is possible. Boom. You've just connected your 2 pillars perfectly. So there you have it. That's the blueprint. And yeah, following it is definitely going to help you get those marks. But it's bigger than that, isn't it? When you structure your answer like this, you're showing you understand how different lines of scientific evidence come together to build one of the most powerful and important ideas in all of biology. So it's not just about passing an exam. It's about grasping the incredible story of life itself.